I'm going to show you how to create a Kodi add-on using just JSON, using the Audrey add-on for Kodi. Now if we open up Kodi, the first thing we need to do is actually install the Audrey add-on. So to do that we need to install the Python repo. Let me show you how you do that. First thing you need to do, if you haven't already, is allow unknown sources. Once that's done, if we go into the file manager and add a new source, what we need to type in here is http://otto.ptom.co.uk. Give this a name, we'll call it the Python repo. And we'll OK that. Now if we go into the add-on area within Kodi and install from zip, go down into the Python repo and you'll see the repository zip install. If we give that an install, now you can see that that's loaded up. You can now go into install from repository, into the Python repo, all the way down to video add-ons and the Audrey tester. Now what you've got here is the Audrey demo, which will show you just a couple of links and videos and things like that, so you can see what can be done. For now we'll be using the tester, so if we install that, what this will allow us to do is to test the JSON file that we create, whether that's online or locally, and once that's created we can then run an export which would actually produce an installable file that we can install into Kodi. So let me just show you the settings quickly. Here you specify whether it's a local file or a URL, and then you just type the path in here. Later I'll show you how to use this section, which is the create add-on, which will create a zip file for you which can then be installed to Kodi. Right, now that we've got that installed, we need to create our JSON. So I'm going to be creating a zero punctuation plugin add-on using this playlist. Let's go to the top. So I use JSON base. I've used it with a couple of my add-ons and it seems to work quite well. So we'll create a new file, give it a name for your reference. I'll call it demo1 0 punctuation. Sorry, I've got to spell there for a second. Right, so the first thing we need to do within the JSON file is define the sites. I'm going to presume that you've already looked through some of the documentation and know sort of the basic structure of this file. So we define sites. Depending on what you're doing, you can include multiple sites into this, and we're just going to be including the one. So first of all, let's give it a name. We'll call it zero punctuation demo. Next thing to do is the poster and the fan art. Now because this is only going to contain one site, the poster won't be shown, neither will the fan art really, but I'll just put it in to show you how you do it. So if we go to images.google, type in zero punctuation, I'll use this one here. So you just right click, copy link location, put that into the poster. Oh no, that doesn't look too nice, does it? Let's use this one. Hopefully it's a bit shorter. fucking bollocks. This isn't needed for this plugin, as we're not going to have any options. It will just load straight in to the video content, so we can skip that on here. If you was doing one with multiple sites, then I would advise using the poster and the fan art. Right, now we need to define the items that we're searching for. And again, this will just be using the playlist for the item, so there'll only be one item in there. If you have multiple, again, you could add in as many as you like. So you could just have multiple channels on there, for example. Right, I'll call this the latest. Then we need to specify the site URL. This will be the page that you're scraping from. So this is a playlist page. Get the URL, and we just paste that in there. Once you've got that, we need to then get the regular expression in to just pull the content. So what I like to use for that is feed 43. The plugin is based pretty much on this whole page, on how it gets the content for RSS feeds. So you can pretty much just copy and paste from here into the JSON file. You'll need to escape the speech marks, but I'll show you that when we get to it. So paste the URL in here that you want to pull content from and reload. Now this will load in the content here. This is saying that the page itself is too big, so the content isn't fully in here. So as you can see, it stops midway through, but hopefully it should be enough for us to test. So we'll start with a global search. Global search is used to basically restrict what you're looking at. So instead of searching the whole page, you can specify a section of the page. I'll show you how to do that and what I mean. So for example, on here, we know that all of the content is in this sidebar that we're after. As there's no additional content, that you can use it, but it's not necessarily going to be of much use, because we know that there's no additional content that it might pull in by mistake. But I'll show you how to use it anyway. So first of all, we look at the first piece of content that we want to get, the hunt down the Freeman. So on here, if we do a search on the page and we type in the right word, hunt down, there we go. So this is saying that this is within a table. So I'm going to presume that this table here is the contents we're after, and that can be in the global search. Now, with a global search, you can only specify one content, which is that. Presume that it enters the table, and that means we're just searching within this table for content. So for an item, what we're looking for, we're looking back for this. So we know here, that's the title we need. So let's copy paste that in. As we know that's the content we're after, we can add in the selectable content marker there. If we look further down, here you go, here's the video link. So we can just copy that again. And now what we can do is, if we have the star, this will just basically mean ignore any content until you get to the next bit, which will be this href. So everything between here and here, that's just simply ignored. Right, let's delete this. I'll put percent in. So there we've got our title and we've got our link. Now it doesn't give us any description or anything, so we can just ignore that. And there's only one image that it pulls, so we'll use that image there for both the poster and the fan art. So if we scroll down here a little bit more, we can see that we've got the image. Here we go, data fun. So this is what we're after. So there's a speech mark there. If we follow that all the way down to here, we can copy paste that. So again, put the star in, and then paste that content. So what that's saying is now, from the end of here, which is our link to the video, we're ignoring all content up until the point where it hits data fun. And then we just want this URL, that URL there for the image. So again, we delete this, and that should be it. Now that should pull for us our title. Oh no, hang on 1 second. Let me put the percent in there. That should pull the title, the link, and the fun. Now the good thing with Feed 43 is now we can extract it and see if it's working before we add it to the add-on. Right, let's say it didn't match. Now, I think that's due to the fact that the page is too big. I think it's cutting off before the table ends. So if we delete this, and then we extract it, yeah. So that's basically just going to use the whole page. It's equivalent really of it just being blank. So yeah, that's working. But I'll add that back in, just so it just runs a little bit nicer. So we know here that %1 is the title, %2 is the link, and %3 is the image. We can then take these and paste them into our JSON file. So let's copy this, go over to here, and then we'll type in our global search pattern. As I was saying, you need to escape any speech marks that are in here. So you just put a backslash in front of each speech mark, and there you have that. Now we need to put in our repeater pattern. Let's go and get that, which is this. Paste it in there again. We just need to escape any speech marks. Right, now what we now need to specify next is just the patterns here, these patterns into what they're used. So we'll start off with the name, the video. Now the name is the title, we know that's the first percentage. So %1. Next we've got the URL, which is %2. With the URLs, I generally find that you need to type in the domain name that you're pulling from first, because it doesn't pull this part from it. So in this case it's YouTube, put in %2, and close that. Next is poster and the fan art, which we're using the same image for each in this case, which we know is %3. Oh, just noted a mistake there. Let me just change that dollar to a %. And then we need to do the fan art. Again, this is %3. Okay, now what we do is we save that. With that saved, we now see the URL for the JSON file. If we click it, we can copy it. Now we can go back into coding. Let me enlarge this, and we go into the video add-ons. Now if we go back into the settings for Audrey, we can specify URL, and we can enter URL. I'll paste that in, and OK. Now if we OK this, we then just run Audrey. do that. That'll load. Right, this is YouTube Wizard. First time it's ever been run, that's all this is. So either do that, set your YouTube details. If it's already set, then you won't need it. You won't need to enter it. I'm just going to go no, because for the minute it doesn't matter. And there we go, that's loaded in the content. As you can see, you can scroll down, each one of them shows the title and the image. Now, just select the one that you want to play.
Pisser, isn't it? Well, how about all of us who are not Wendigos sit in the cable car and you can stay here and start it for us? Alright, fair enough. That was the...
Alright. As you can see, the only limitation with this way of pulling data from YouTube is it limits a playlist down to 100 files. So you'll get one long page of 100 videos. Now, there's more than 100 videos on this playlist. So the issue here is it's good if you've got under 100. If you've got more than that, then you might want to consider using the YouTube API, and I'll go through another tutorial how you can tie that into Audrey and pull all the content. So if we go back, we can now look at adding or creating the actual YouTube add-on. Right, now if we let me click on here. If we right click on here and go into the settings, we'll click on create add-on. Now here, what we do is once we've entered all this information in, this will create an installable file that you can pass around, email, put into your own repositories if you've got them, and it will install the add-on for other users. So first of all, we specify the save to folder. I'm just going to put this onto my D drive. I'll give it a name of 0 punctuation demo. Give it a version number of 1.0. Just a quick summary of what the add-on is. Then a bit of a longer description. Then we just need to specify the author of the plugin, the email address, if there's any issues or anything like that. Then specify the artwork. Have a look on Kodi for the right size. I believe icon files should be 256 by 256 or 512 by 512. Now I've already downloaded a couple of images, so this is what I'm going to use for that. The icon image must be a PNG file and the fan art image must be a JPEG file. So again, the fan art image, I'm not too sure on the sizes. I think it's just sort of regular HD size. But yep, this is what I'm going to use for the fan art. Oops, I've gone off. And then that's it. With all that filled in, all we need to do is click on this create add-on and next run. Once that's active, click OK. Then we just run the plugin. Now when you see this pop up, that means your add-on's been created. So, as it's saved on the D drive, if we click on here and we install from zip, if we go into the D drive, there we go. You've got the plugin zip file there. If you now run that, that will run, as you can see up here. Demo is installed. And then when you click on this, it'll take you in. Again, the exact same content that we saw before is here. And then hit play and it will play.
Done. Oh, we can't tell you. You have to play it for you. It's a parody game. Got it. Don't care. I get off my fucking lawn. Then I started...
Now I'll show you quickly what is in the file. So this is what it's created. If we unzip it, go in, you'll see you've got your fan art image and your icon image. It's your add-on, and that's your default. Default is pretty, let's just get rid of that. That's the code that will run it. Again, if you want to, you can edit this and sort of extend the use. And then you've got the add-on XML, which is what all the stuff that we've entered in. Again, if you want to, you can add some more metadata in there if you want. And that's it. With that file, you can then, as I say, upload it to your repository, or just give it around to people you know to install. Next tutorial, I'll go over using the YouTube API to do exactly the same thing, but this time it will load in all of the videos and it will be split over pages.